David Weinberg with Curiosk Marketing Solutions based out of Toronto, Canada. We created a company to take a kiosk solution to the wine industry to satisfy customers out there at retail looking for access to what we call laser-focused information. The way it works is it's in the wine aisle of a grocery store or in a wine specialty store, and it's a touchscreen kiosk. A customer goes in, they pick up a bottle of wine, take it over to our kiosks, they scan the barcode label. As soon as they do, up on screen, intimidation-free access to customer service. Shows the product's tasting notes, food pairing recommendations, and even cellaring guidelines. And what our kiosk also lets a person do is they could then use the touchscreen to, within a minute, create a personalized information card that prints out with the wine information, with their personal greeting, and the card's designed to fit over the neck of the bottle. Our business model is based on a couple layers, and the first one is we rent our kiosk solution to the retailer so that they could just put it on their floor and provide that access of information to all their customers, and for that the retailers pay us. The next tier of our revenue model is that card that I mentioned, the wine gift card that prints out with the information on it. That's a card that we sell wholesale to the retailer, and then they sell it off to their customers in their store. So we have rental income, we have wholesale card revenue. The next tier is when we get the digital signage on top. We expect we would allocate a fair chunk of that time to just promote the retailer at no charge, and then we would sell some to third-party partners for other ad revenue. Issues facing us as a kiosk deployer right now are certainly hardware. They are also software, as well as the interface to manage both parts of it, as well as ensuring that what you're doing is going to satisfy the needs of the retailers out there right now. And there are, through the association, there's a set of best practices documents, and they are invaluable for somebody, whether you're new or whether you're a legacy player in the industry, because it just keeps bringing to top of mind awareness to what to look out for and what to avoid or what to focus on to make sure your solution's the best in the market. Within the last couple of weeks, I went to the Kiosk.com digital signage show in New York, and having a little experience in kiosks, we went to go down there and learn to mirror that experience in digital signage, because our focus right now is to take a digital sign, and there's a tremendous convergence happening right now, and it seems to be happening sooner rather than later with interactive kiosks and digital signage. And it just makes sense, especially for a company like ours, once we've secured real estate in the store, why not maximize the benefit of that both for ourselves, certainly for the retailer, and all the customers coming in. When we walked the show floor at the digital signage, I have to be honest and say it was a little frustrating at times, because there were a tremendous amount of great suppliers there, but I found there was a little bit of a disconnect between what our needs were and, with the limited knowledge we had, how to marry that up with all these fantastic exhibitors with what their expertise was. And I guess I say that because we were looking for a start to finish solution with what we call one choke point. If it doesn't work, we only want one person to point to. And on the show floor, it was hard to discern who was an expert in the whole solution versus who were experts in parts of the solution, and then even to figure out how many parts there were. When we were looking for supplier partners on hardware and software, the first thing we looked for actually was dependability and ability to deliver, because when you're putting your reputation online on the floor in a retail store, it's got to work. Customers are very time-starved in society these days, and if it doesn't work, the likelihood of getting them back isn't good. So we always will seek out and try to partner with name brand, quality and dependable leaders who have, as we term, a depth of resources behind them. So if things don't work, because a great term is, you only know good software when it doesn't work, because the rest of the time you don't pay attention to it. So when it doesn't work, you need to have a depth of resources from whatever supplier partner that they could get you up and running right away. Being on the floor at the show on the digital signage side, and plus what we've learned on the kiosk side by being in the business for a couple of years, if a company is too niche, right now as an early stage company that we are, we don't discount their potential, but we're steering away from them, because if we lock into a niche player and then we don't have the resources to support it, or we're too locked in with them and they disappear off the radar screen because the industry is changing quickly, we didn't want to be tied to any of that risk. The convergence of kiosks and digital signage, as I've heard, is happening faster, sooner rather than later. And it's because there's experts in both fields, but they also see each other's expertise and they want to bring it together because it's electronic communication of information. One we say is more tangible, hands-on, which is a kiosk. The other is more visual or audible, which is the digital sign. It makes sense that they should come together when it's appropriate. You're not going to see in certain stores, it just won't make sense for you. You won't be able to stop people to get them to touch a kiosk, where a digital signage will make sense, but I see it happening sooner rather than later.